How's it going?
Hey man, what's going on with you?
Not much. I'm just hanging out. Literally and figuratively. Trey, what's going on, man? I need to have you on the show.
What show is that?
Google Plus Week.
What is that?
Are
Is
you
it awesome?
serious? Yeah, it's awesome. We just had
All right.
Mike Elgin on.
Okay, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. We it was a fascinating interview. I'll mention you in the thing or share it with you when I post it. It's uploading now. Yeah, it's a show we do every Friday live. It's like a weekly news show about Google Plus, and we debate everything and we talk about what's happened and that kind of thing. Peter's just joined us. What's up, Peter?
What's going on, Mr. McDermott?
How you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Fun show, huh?
I got to see the first half. I had to take care of some stuff in the second half, but I can't wait to see the rebroadcast.
Yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff. His whole theory. But Trey, tell me, where are you now, Trey? What's your location?
I'm in Austin.
Oh wow. Okay, you travel everywhere, right?
I do. I'm always on the road, and I'm moving my family to New Zealand.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm about to relocate my person there.
Are you a Lord of the Rings fan or what?
Yes. That's
Man,
not why.
One of my ultimate dreams,
Yeah.
Trey, is I want Peter Jackson to remake the whole Harry Potter series in about 10 years. Wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah.
If he did it.
Or J.J. Abrams.
Yeah?
Yeah. J.J. Abrams does good remakes.
Yeah, that'd be neat with a whole new cast to just bust them out because you know it's going to make money. I mean, they could redo that franchise every 10 years and they'd make billions of dollars every time.
Well, I think they chose a bad actor for Harry, and he just didn't get any better, did he? You think being surrounded by other great actors through the years that he might have improved his craft, but he just always falls flat.
But really, though, okay, true, he's no, Captain Picard, but
Yeah.
The character, I think the appeal, other than her incredible writing, Janet Rowling was such an incredible writer, but the appeal of the Harry Potter character was that he wasn't a superhero. He was thrust into that. He was a normal kid. He was a C student. He wasn't destined for greatness. He was thrust into it involuntarily. And so it's sort of like the Big Bird character on Sesame Street where really the Big Bird character represents the child watching. Big Bird makes all the dumb mistakes and learns from them, right? And so Harry Potter was kind of the average guy. He wasn't supposed to be this brilliant person. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, well, if you look at other, typical Joseph Campbell-esque type quest stories, there's Frodo. He was well chosen. He was well cast. There was Luke Skywalker, the everyman. He was well cast. But I think, he just never did it. And maybe it's just I see little acting peccadillos in that Daniel Radcliffe who's bringing down the family name. But I think, I agree. I think I'd like to see a Harry Potter redo in a few years too.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
I'm multitasking. I'm uploading the show and typing stuff, so y'all have a conversation here. Somebody's about to play something for us.
Yeah, Matt's going to play.
That's cool.
Oh no, I wasn't planning on playing. I was going to practice in the background.
Too bad, you're on stage. Do
Make
it.
sure it's not copyrighted content. I don't want to get Lamar Smith all pissed off at me, right?
No, I do all original stuff.
Lamar Smith's had a really bad week. I don't want to get him all riled up again.
No, I was the guy that started the Hangout for the Mike Elgin thing on the side. And we had about probably 30 people come in and out of there. It was all right. And we were using the chat function to comment while he had his the live feed was going on. So it's kind of interesting. And then I saw you guys just open this up, so I figured I better.
We bailed and came in here.
Yeah, we bailed on our own Hangout. But we were the only people left, so it was cool.
Yeah.
I can hear, as I walk back and forth, I can still hear everything because I got my studio speakers on. But that was really interesting. You started a Hangout just to have a chat room, and I want to figure out, I don't know if I want to do an IRC chat or something because I need a universal chat.
Okay.
so that we can all kind of be on the same page. Because I got people frustrated in the Justin chat because I can't pay attention to all these different things at the same time because my ADD kicks in. And I'm trying to pay attention to what the guests are saying and stuff like that during the show.
Yeah,
There's that red spinny thing in the corner telling you have like 50 notifications.
I'm sorry, it's crazy. It's a lot. Once you get to a certain level of people
Bobby
interacting,
in here.
hard.
Where is she?
I'm at the beginning, but
Oh, you're Bobby. Okay, duh.
actually I'm not Bobby. I'm Bobby Joe. Thanks very much, though.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't click on someone, force them,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
just
I
let
see
it.
that.
It'll float to whoever's chatting at the moment. I might have to green screen somebody because this Dan's background is just too intense for my retinas sometimes. Love you, Dan.
Let's see, who all do we got in here? I think I've hung out with
We've got Evan
Peter. I know I've hung out with Bobby Joe several times.
and Trey.
I haven't hung out. I think I hung out with Trey like right when I first got on here, and I didn't even know who you were. And I was like, oh, cool, a Hangout. So I just kind of popped in there, and I was like, oh, this is photography stuff. I'm a musician, so I kind of bailed out. But I started looking at your work. You have some really cool stuff.
You do.
You don't have to say that, thanks. I'm just a regular dude.
But I did download your app.
Whatever, dude.
I remember when you gave a tour of Tom Anderson's house.
Yeah. Oh, when I get his second mansion in the Hollywood Hills. Yeah.
Second mansion.
Hey, Trey, are you friends with Scott Jarvie?
Yes, I am.
Yes. I follow him faithfully.
Yeah, Scott's a nice guy. He's got all kinds of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after that. You know, we have some of these groupies that come to these photo walks that we do. We have a few people that join us, and they're some of them are open for suggestion. And Scott Jarvie tends to attract some of the edge element of these groupies. So he has many a story I'm sure he'd be happy to share with you. Many a tale of ribaldry he will gladly unleash on the unsuspecting listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a common bond, Scott and I do, so.
Okay. Yeah, I like Scott. Everyone likes Scott.
Yeah.
My
We
wife
don't- we
likes him a
share-
lot. My
we
wife has these plans to have him over for dinner and secretly get him to take photos of our kids.
Trey, I've got a great photography story. I don't have many of them, but I have one I'll share with you. I was covering Obama when he was senator running for president, and I was ironically I was on the they built the stage up for the media, and I was in between MSNBC. They were doing a live stand-up, and on the other side of me was the Washington Times reporter, which was ironic because you have like a right-wing and a left-wing guy, and I'm like, you're trying to maintain. And then there's a Japanese reporter. It was funny. I can say this because I'm short, and I was born in Japan, so I say this with affection. But the Japanese reporter had a little. He walked. He brought a little stand, and he stood on it so that he could be as tall as everybody else.
Yeah.
And for the shot, and there were helicopters and everything, and Obama came out, and it was right after the Fox reporter made that infamous comment referred to a terrorist fist bump. Because Obama, does this, right?
Yeah.
And as then Senator Obama came out on stage, there was a really enthusiastic guy, and I found out later his name is Andy Weber, and now he's the Undersecretary of State. But he was on stage, and it's like this middle-aged white dude, and he's got his hand extended, and Obama's doing the fist bump at him. And they both are looking down in the first picture awkwardly, and in the second picture, he's hugging him. And so I put the two pictures side by side, and I said, "You can't." The caption was, "You can't beat a good hug. You can't beat a good hug." Senator Barack Obama, Democrat, Illinois, helps an enthusiastic supporter bridge the coolness gap at a rally in Bristow, Virginia. And so CNN picked it up and ran it. and the guy was in I forget the country. Where was Borat ostensibly from?
Kazakhstan.
The guy was
Yeah.
in Kazakhstan.
The greatest country in the world.
And he saw it on CNN and emailed me and said, "Oh my God, can I have a copy of the picture? I'm going to get Brock to sign it." And I said, "That's totally cool, but I want a picture of the signed one." And I sent it to him. I said, well, "Please, get me a picture of him signing it, or a picture of the signed one, or something. That'd be kind of neat, But that was that's my interesting thing, that the power of media, that this random guy in Kazakhstan would see it on CNN, and then find me and email me and ask me for it. I just thought that was so cool. That was neat, and it was a great montage. I'll post it and I'll post it and show it to you.
That's cool. I like these stories about how people just reach out and contact. I don't think people realize you can just email just about anybody in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My sister, just an example of that, and then I'll shut up and let you guys talk, but my sister is a big Pop-Tart fan from when she was a little kid, and she loves strawberry Pop-Tarts. And so they changed the recipe, Kellogg did. And so she was livid because for 40 years she'd been eating, strawberry Pop-Tarts with this recipe she liked. And she got on the phone. She actually got to the CEO of Kellogg on the phone, and he listened to her, and she said, "I'm the biggest fan of your Pop-Tarts. I can't believe this awful recipe." And so he tried it, and they actually changed the recipe back from one phone call. I mean, this is a classic consumerist story, right?
Huh.
But she actually got on the phone and was able to reach the CEO of Kellogg, and so it proves you don't mess with my sisters.
Yeah, that's
and you
wild.
don't mess with the Kellogg Pop-Tart recipe. Alan, I'm sure you got something to ask Trey.
Not really, no.
Really?
I got something I want to say to Trey, actually. I was thinking about, you had a Google Talk a while back. I don't remember what the reason was. And you said something that really impacted me, and it was, make good art and the internet will discover you, And I have been using that as motivation to get myself out there in Google+, and I just wanted to thank you for that, because it was really kind of nervous even saying it. It was really a very deep impact on me as an artist, and I really appreciated it.
Oh, well, great. Thanks. That's nice of you. I do really feel strongly about that. Because I see so many great artists out there that are worried about not having followers or not being discovered yet, but I'm sure the way that everything is now bottom up instead of top down, there's no more gatekeepers who decide what is good art. The internet, the crowd, decides what's good art.
Right.
And, I shared stuff for, I've been sharing stuff online for 6 or 7 years, and I didn't really, it was just me and my mom, for the first 3 years. And then it started picking up about 3 or 4 years ago. And, really, in the beginning, my art really wasn't even very good. And just by, forcing myself to share and online and open myself up and be vulnerable, it's very risky. But what actually ends up happening is the more vulnerable you make yourself online, the more you accidentally auto-filter people into your world that are interested in you.
And they accept that part of you, that whatever mistake you make or whatever, how goofy you might be, or...
Yeah.
Artists never make mistakes. We just make corrections.
Yeah.
It's like you can't play a wrong note on your guitar if you just move your finger 1 fret the opposite direction. Then it was completely intentional, right?
Hey, Bobby, I've started to figure out that your voice triggers my dog.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. Like, he hears it because he hears I'm wearing headphones, but I think that he hears it, like, through the headphones.
Monica,
And I'm so sorry.
I'm attracting all the dogs on G+. What can I say?
I always wondered, because it's always when you speak that he is like,
I'll shut up.
deciding he's going to bark.
I'm sorry.
So, hey, you guys. You guys said something about wanting to hear some of my music. Do you guys still want to hear something? I don't want to.
Yeah.
Come out live
Absolutely.
here to Hangout.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right. This is a song I'm writing, and it's kind of a work in progress. And I've been improvising guitar solos over it to try to get some ideas for the vocals. So let's see how this sounds in our Hangout. I might have to balance it real quick because I wasn't ready to do this. Hang on. Tell me how this sounds. Oh. Hang on. I got to get my audio right.
Hey, real quick, this is original.
A little bit
right?
muted.
This is original, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
want
I only do original stuff.
All right, I don't want to get in trouble because it's a Hangout on air. It's
Nope.
being broadcast, and so I don't want to get in trouble. You
Nope,
know what I mean?
this is all my stuff. I wrote this
Okay,
last
cool.
week. But yeah, I was going to say something about that too. And with Google Plus, everybody is, the internet. Everyone's worried about the government regulating the internet and stuff. And there's all kinds of different arguments and comments about that. But I was thinking as an artist and a musician, if you just keep making innovative, interesting stuff, it kind of doesn't matter. Like you just keep putting your heart into what you're doing, and I just want to put my stuff out there and like Trey's saying, let the people judge for themselves. But hang on, you guys go ahead and talk. It's going to take me a minute to get. I have to switch my audio stream here.
Trey, I just shared that photo and mentioned you in the post. The one I was talking about with the president.
All right, I see it here in my special Gmail filter.
Yay, Gmail.
Do you have a McDermott filter, Trey?
I see that.
We all have a McDermott filter, Peter. I was going to put a witty comment in your post. I was reading something today. They were talking about they found some new, I forget, it was a thing about evolution, and they said we're all traced back to some bacteria, and they were and I was, when you said like, are we related, and like, well, we all are in some way, and I was going to post the Wikipedia entry for that original organism from which we were all descended and say, yeah, we are related, and post that, but I was too busy with the show. I couldn't get my ducks in a row.
The real question isn't if you have a McDermott filter, it's what the default action for the McDermott filter is.
Thanks, prisoner. Appreciate that.
Always, Peter, always.
We need to take up a collection and get Peter some more headphones.
Yeah, please. I'm running out.
I think we
At
need
least
to
you know
buy
where to
Peter more
find them.
interesting ties.
Now, is
I always look forward to your interesting ties.
Yeah, if you want to buy me ties, I'd be happy to wear them. If somebody wants to sponsor me a tie, I'd be happy to
You
wear a
need a
sponsored
Google
tie.
logo tie.
Peter's wardrobe is sponsored by.
Yeah, that would be great. I'll tell you what.
I have a Costco shirt on and Costco ties usually.
Yeah, Dan, I only, I really don't go any lower than Brooks Brothers. I'm kidding.
Never go out of style.
Kidding. This is actually from the Andover store, this shirt here. My uncle, who's freaking loaded, got me that.
Lucky
Most of the crap I
you.
own that.
Dan, I can tell we're in the after show because you took your tie off.
Ooh! That could be the pre-show for something else.
Yeah, but I still got my hair did.
Okay, guys, I think I got it. Can you hear me?
All right, yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
That's awesome.
At the end there.
Encore, encore.
At the end.
That was almost haunting.
Hey Matt, have you seen Some Kind of Monster?
The Metallica thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah. I thought that, well, it's been a long time since I watched it, but you talking about the movie?
Yeah, the documentary about Metallica?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I watched it. I mean, I always like all the inside, you know, behind the scenes type stuff, and but I really, honestly, I can't remember the premise of it.
Oh, well, you know, it's just how they were all wheels off, and they had all this money, and they were having drug and alcohol problems, and they needed another bass player, and I like that part about that bass player, and they showed that footage of him practicing in his bedroom, just totally jamming out, and he was way into Metallica, and they ended up hiring him, and they had him at the table, and they said, all right, well, welcome to Metallica. We want to give you $1 million signing bonus, and he was totally shocked.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm at that point yet, but I think, like, I'm also a singer. Singing is my main thing, but without preparing for it, I really didn't want to do that because, like, the whole time I was like trying to keep myself from shaking, and I don't know. Hangouts are really weird. They really put my nerves on edge if I don't know the people. If I've hung out with you a time or two, it doesn't bother me, but you know, a whole bunch of new people, it really kills my nerves.
Has doing it helped though?
Yes, it does. It's really, it's kind of like.
Can you crank your audio up a little bit? Your mic's a little low.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it from squealing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess I would call it, I've never cliff dived before, but I would imagine a new hangout for me is kind of like jumping off a new cliff, you know? Once you've done it a couple times and you know what's at the bottom, it's not really a big deal, but at first you're like, man, I hope there's enough water down there to, once I hit the water, or no rocks under the water, you know?
Mike Elgin during the show tonight was talking about that, encouraging people just to do it, you know, just get out there and do hangouts about any random thing and get into it, and wider adoption. So
yeah, I would
cool.
say for anybody who's watching this and is not sure like whether they should, you know, join a hangout and they're kind of nervous, I would say, you know, just like join a hangout and have your audio on, but don't use your video, because that's easier for you. You don't have to worry about people seeing you. You can just talk to people, and then you can start using your video as you get more comfortable.
No, that's an excellent
Like I've gotten to the point where I don't care what you guys see me. Like I wear curlers into the hangout. Whatever.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah,
Right.
and if you're worried about people making fun of you, Dan has 2 left feet, and nobody's made fun of him yet. So.
Indeed.
No, I think also it's important to realize there are a lot of people who are recurring in hangouts. And, you know, so once you start seeing a couple of them, you start getting more and more comfortable, even when there's a lot more people who you don't recognize in the room. You know, I think a lot of people have started getting into hangouts that way, and it just kind of expands from there.
Yeah, and I found Monica in another chat room with, what was it, Eileen McAllister and Shafali and Bruce Garber and things like that. And we were talking, saying we've got a couple of things in common. So yeah.
There's one other aspect about Hangouts too. I don't think people realize, especially newbies. And you know, if you think back to high school, remember how you'd walk into a room and you mostly just tried to fit in, and you mostly assumed that everyone else in the room knew what was going on except for you, right? You assume that you walk into the room and all these guys and girls in there, they all have these pre-established relationships, everyone knows everybody, they have this rich history together, and you're just kind of coming in there and you just don't want people to realize that you have no idea what's happening. But now that you're a grown-up and you look back at high school, you realize, wait a minute, we were all clueless back then. Nobody knew what was going on. Everybody was pretending. So what makes you think that, real adult life is any different? So if you walk into a room where it appears that everyone knows what's going on except for you, probably it's not true at all. Everyone is just in there just kind of goofing off and feeling their way through it. And so if you can dispense with these unhelpful brain cycles about worrying that your place in the petri dish, don't worry about that. Just go in and have fun and be open-minded and don't fret about these things.
I don't know. I think it's still a little tough for a lot of people. I know it's tough for me when I first started getting into Hangouts that I would join, and it seemed like just about everyone else in the room did know each other, and were referencing things that happened in the Hangout the day before, and were referencing things that happened in the Hangout for the past 12 hours because they've all been hanging out for 12 hours straight or whatever. And it does take some getting used to the fact that, yeah, people are going to talk about that, but it's okay. They still want you there. They still want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of judgment. I think many of us are, in a mindset where you think there's going to be a lot of judgment, and there really isn't.
I think that's the bigger thing that people need to get past.
I mean, I've encountered a few people in Hangouts that were just kind of disruptive, and they were there to. It was fun for them to cause the chaos and disruption of not being part of the group and stuff, and that's always kind of, frustrating. And a lot of people, they've never encountered that, or they don't encounter that very often in their life, and so maybe people are shy and afraid, don't know how to handle that. I just kind of ignore them until they go away. I've blocked maybe a couple people the whole time I've been on here just because it was ridiculous, but most of the people I've hung out with are really nice people,
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, we're not all weirdos. Just some of us.
Hey,
Like
I'm gonna
me.
put it. I have
Well,
a
when
link.
I see you in your funny hat sometimes, Monica, I have my doubts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting.
Well, I
out a-
admitted to it for a reason.
He hasn't ever hung out with my co-host before.
But
My
that's a
beloved
link to one of my
co-host,
songs right
the
there.
Charm
that's not
Factory.
that bad.
What's this, Matt?
Oh, that's just a link to. That's probably the closest to being finished for my record. I gotta
Okay.
record the vocals and a guitar solo. Well, for the demo, I'm going in the
Okay.
studio in August. I'm retiring from the military in about a month and a half, and hopefully I'll be able to go into the studio in August and have all the stuff ready and done and get my first record out by October. I'm hoping.
What
Thank
branch?
you. Thank you for your service, Matt.
I'm in the Air Force.
Yeah, what branch are you in, Matt?
Air Force.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. I used to work at Randolph
Yeah,
Macon
go Air Force.
Academy, America's only coeducational Air Force junior ROTC school.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting 20 years. I've seen and done things that I really have learned a lot from, and it's been a real privilege to be a part of.
I was in Air Force active for 4 years and 12 in the inactive reserves before they finally got tired of seeing my paperwork every year and kicked me out.
Nice.
Where are you currently
Trey, are you in you got any projects going on now? Anything interesting you want to share with us?
Well, no, I guess I gave the hint of one I can't really talk about. We started doing some recruiting. We're trying to hire a camera guy. Tom Anderson and I are going on a around-the-world trip together. I do these all the time anyway, but he's joining me for this next one to take photos and just kind of go on an adventure. So we've got a little crew going around with us this time on a bit of a secret project. That's going to be a fun one.
He's really an interesting Google Plus person.
Who, Tom?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he kind of hid for a while and, was just like a young miser with his money, and now he gets to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and I think it's great. And he's really one of the smartest, most interesting people on the server.
it's been great becoming friends with him because I just turned 40, he just turned 40. We're exactly the same age, and you know when you turn 40, it's actually very hard to make friends with other guys. And he's a lot more famous than me, obviously, but I think we kind of have the same problem as people come up to us and people aren't always normal when they, or they want something from us and they want us to promote them or they want money or anyway, you just kind of like, people are always perfectly nice, but you always kind of wonder what do they really want. And anyway, when we actually met through Google Plus, we were friends on Google Plus, and I was coming to LA to see my agent, and he said, well, why don't you stay in my second mansion in the Hollywood Hills while you're here? And I said, all right, why not? And so I stayed there, and the last night we got together to hang out in real life, and we sat down for dinner about 7, and then we were outside this restaurant. We stayed together all the way till 5 a.m. and really hit it off, and then we started traveling around together, and it's been really nice. Anyway, I say all that because I don't want anything from him. He doesn't want anything from me. We're just like dudes being dudes, and it's all really because of Google Plus, because he kind of came and opened up, I came and opened up, and so you kind of get a sense of one another. And you can't do that through Twitter. You can't get to know someone through 140 characters. And so there's something different happening here with Google Plus, and you kind of get little hints into the souls of people if they're willing to show themselves.
That's interesting because you kind of complement each other because obviously he's someone you would admire for his accomplishments founding, one of the early prominent social network, MySpace, and then he's now a big photography fanatic, right? And so he would naturally look at you the same way. So you're kind of dueling hero worship, I guess, from different perspectives. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bromance, but in a non-gay way. Yeah, no, it's
not that there's anything wrong with it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Any port in a storm.
I hope you guys will do some video because that will be a very interesting. You could almost make a documentary about it. Maybe that's not what you're not revealing. But yeah, that's neat. That's awesome.
Yeah, I hope, Trey, that you will plan to visit Mayan ruins on December 12th, if you're still out there.
Yeah, we should do that. That's going to be a big day. It'll be crowded, though.
You think the Mayan ruins will be crowded that day?
Well, don't you think there's going to be a bunch of nutcases out there?
Yeah, there probably will be, actually.
But maybe it'll be good on
think about it.
We'll get out
Might
there.
be a mass suicide or something.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys want to help me pick which photo will appear tomorrow on the blog?
Sure.
Yeah, this is a big deal. We do one photo per day. Every day we get about 200,000 photo views. So this is going to be, you guys have great power here. I never give anyone this choice. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Where's my iPhoto? Here we go. Okay, here's choice number 1.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to put you up.
This is from the Yosemite Google Plus Photo Walk, in fact. So that's choice 1. We'll call it Hills. Here is choice 2. This is San Francisco.
Shall we call that one the distant bridge?
We'll call that the distant bridge. Okay. Good idea, Doug. Okay. Which one do we go with?
Hills.
Hills.
Well,
Hills?
Just them two. Just them two. Have you? Is that all the?
That's all you get to choose from. Those two.
Okay.
God, if you could make this ocean opaque and put the hills behind the bridge, that would be rock. Can we have our cake and eat it too, Trey?
I could go with.
Can you spend 4 hours on Photoshop to appease my random suggestion? Man, they're both so good. I would say Hills because it's unique.
All right, Hills it is.
But they're both awesome. I mean, it's like choosing between, Picasso painting in the Mona Lisa. I mean,
No, you don't have to say that. Okay, Hill.
Yeah, but you're right, Dan. The bridge is a bit. You can find that you can find it quite often, can't you? That kind of motif.
Okay, which hills do you like? This one or this one?
Oh,
Number 2.
Yeah, that one.
That one?
No,
that one looks.
No, I like the other one.
I like the first one.
You guys are
I
a
like-
tough crowd. Okay.
Oh no, number 2.
Sounds like half and half.
I like that one.
The one with
Number
the
1,
blue
it
is
barely
much,
looks like a
much
photograph.
It doesn't look real. It looks like you photoshopped it.
Yeah.
That one. The first one is just like, wow, that's something I haven't seen before. It's
Exactly.
It's so plain. It's not plain, if that makes sense.
All right, that's the one. Here we go.
It could be mistaken for clouds too, so it leaves your imagination to draw on its own.
Like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, you have to use your imagination.
All
Yeah, the
right,
other
thanks,
one,
guys.
The other one looks artificial, doesn't it? The second one.
Of course, Trey, free advice is worth what you paid for, right?
All right, I'm uploading now.
Well, sorry, my free advice is worth a nickel. I don't know about you guys.
Okay, I'll buy you a latte, Monica, next time we're together.
Sweet.
Then
The
we'll
power
we'll
of
be
a
even.
random
Accepted.
hangout.
Wow, Trey must know some special places if you can buy a latte for a nickel. It's got a time machine.
Matt, didn't you promise some music about 20 minutes ago?
He did it.
Did I miss something?
He played awesome. It was like,
That must have been right in between when I was still in the stream and then joining the hangout.
See, that's what you get for leaving.
No, I wasn't
No, I've
leaving
been-
anywhere. I didn't get in. I had to watch the stream, and I think that is when I heard him promising the music. And then, obviously, when I tried then to get into the hangout, he must have done it then. I think he did it on purpose.
it was awesome. It was like Jimi Hendrix meets Pink Floyd meets early Van Halen.
Yeah, it's from Steve Vai.
I don't know, how would you describe it? It was a whole. That's the most complimentary thing I can say is it was like a unique genre. Like if you hear an Elton John or Billy Joel song, you can't really say they're rock or pop. You know, it's a whole different thing. It's their own thing. That was great. It was really neat.
Jen, I was gonna say I actually recorded it on
Oh,
Pro
okay.
Tools while I was playing it, and I think I liked the notes that came out. So I'm gonna put them on SoundCloud and post them on my page probably after the hangout, so you can hear it then also.
Okay,
and, well,
brilliant.
It'll be. Are you guys gonna upload this on air?
Yeah, this is yes.
Okay. Cool.
I'll have it, and I'll mention you when I do.
Good.
So you'll see it. I mean, I'll mention everyone in this hangout when I post it, because yeah, that was a really interesting thing about your sneak preview of your upcoming trip, Trey, and your song was amazing, Matt.
Thanks.
And we got to pick a photo of the day.
That's right. It all happened here on Random Fun Hangout.
Cool.
Would you
Hey,
like to
I gotta
know
run,
where
guys.
we're from? Would you like to know where we're from?
Trey's about to leave, but go ahead. Tell us where
Okay.
you're from.
I'm in Utah near Salt Lake City.
Awesome. Matt, where are you at?
I'm in North Dakota in the cold part. I guess the
Okay.
whole state's cold, but this is the really cold part.
I was going to say, we'll pretend there's a warm part.
Wait. Are you in Minot?
Quite possibly, yes.
My condolences.
Here.
My deep, dear condolences.
Monica, where are you at?
Oh, I'm representing the hippies in Boulder, Colorado.
I'm glad all of you could make it.
Weird food allergies represent!
All right, Jens.
Hey, I'm in Tenerife, Canary Islands, Spain.
Wow.
The only place that Trey and Tom have not been to before.
Oh,
I'm speculating. Maybe
about bloody time they remedy that then.
Doug, where are you at?
Right here in Iowa, where it's snowing and blowing and very cold.
You guys are so 2 weeks ago in Iowa. You're so last week.
Oh, come on. All sorts of news coming out of Iowa yesterday.
I know that's true. That's true. The stunning victory for the Rick Big Tent Santorum.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a dig just then. Just kidding. And then Alan, you're in New York, right? Where are you, Alan?
Remembered this time. Yes, I'm in New York.
Only because you were tagged in like 75 different photos.
You haven't even seen my New York photo walk photos, have you?
Yeah, you were tagged in them. I saw them. I was looking.
Oh, that's right.
I was stalking. I was Google Plus stalking you.
That's right. I haven't posted mine from the photo walk yet. I still have 72 photos to post.
I didn't see you in any of them, but you were tagged in them, which was odd.
Well, it's a bug with Google Plus right now. If you get tagged in any one from an album, it starts reporting you as being tagged in all of them from that album.
Yeah, I have that problem with a picture that Cliff drew of me, and now I get tagged in every single picture he draws.
So, you know, there are actually a couple of pictures of me that are kind of tough to see because I was bundled up that day because it was pretty cold. But I was tagged in one or two of them, so now every time this guy posts a picture, and he's posted something like 70 or so far, it says that I'm in the picture, and I'm not. But he's a pretty good photographer, so I don't mind.
Guys, it's 22:05 in the morning here where I am. I think I'm going to hit the mattress.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys.
What
See
time
you
is it?
guys. 20 to 5 in the
Nice
morning.
to meet you.
20 to 5 in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, I was staying up because I was waiting for an invite from Dan for the show with Mike Elgin, but he never got me anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so am I. I was prepared. I don't know. I've absolutely no idea, but because I got an invite for that one, so I thought you might have accidentally, of course, deleted me from your Hangout circle. But since I
don't know what
got
I'll find out. I'll try to remember what I invited because I have different circles. I don't know what happened.
No problem at all. But that is what I was staying up for, and now I stayed up a bit longer so I could complain about it.
Sorry about that. No intentional slight.
Hey,
Monica,
Dan.
you look a bit tired too.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm fighting a bad gastrointestinal bug.
Ouch.
C. difficile. So it's it's a long, hard fight. It's not been fun. But you guys make it a lot easier
That is what we're
to
here for.
distract me.
I will stop distracting you now, darling, because I had a really, really long day. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so basically I've been up now 23 hours almost.
Oh, wow.
Get
You
some
gotta go to
sleep.
And it was a very stressful day because I spent all of that in hospital.
Oh.
So, I'm knackered. I see you all, guys.
Okay, have a good night.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
darling. Okay, hey, good morning. Bye.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
We have a friend in common,
Who's that?
Linda Lowry.
Oh, yeah. She's awesome.
Yes, she is.
She's
She
a trip.
is.
She took like a day off or two or something.
I haven't seen her for a few days.
Yeah.
Quite good for her, though.
Yeah, she needs a break, you know.
Yeah, she circled me when I first came in onto Google Plus, and I'm going, okay, let's check her out. I need some friends. I'll follow her back.
Hey guys,
And I've got
I
3
gotta,
terrible thumbnails, Alan, for this video.
Don't you hate how YouTube does that? It's almost like they have a person in charge of choosing a terrible thumbnail. Because they do it so well.
Yeah, I'm definitely got the...
Do any of them have a stink bug on it, though?
Huh?
You get a stink bug shot tonight.
This is a computer I have.
I'm trying to see if...
Hey guys, I gotta run. Thanks for the hangout. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, it was awesome.
Good to meet you.
Okay, bye,
Great to
Matt.
meet you.
Thanks, Matt.
Hit me up anytime you guys want to hang out.
You got it.
I will say I'm trying to do, my New Year's resolution is to do 30 minutes of music in a hangout every day. I haven't been doing that great at it, but if you ever see me, I'll let you give you an invite.
And circle Matt. Circle him.
All right, guys.
Night.
Thanks, Sheila. See everybody later.
Well, I'm going to head out too, guys.
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
Have a nice evening.
Good night, Monica.
Nice to see you.
This is epic. The great Dan McDermott.
What did I miss on the rest of the show, Dan?
You'll get lots of argument. Alan will be busted on me for that.
Actually,
Wow. I am fully supportive behind the title, The Great Dan McDermott.
but the epic, the great Trey Ratcliffe was worth being in here too.
Oh, he's a fantastic guy and a
Yeah.
fantastic photographer. And he's awesome.
And I did get a lot of good advice from Mike as I was listening to him. So
I think tonight's show with Mike was excellent. That was really, I think, one of the best shows we've done, Dan.
Yeah, he was terrific. I mean, we've had so many lately, right? And it keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was really interesting because he covers Google Plus and has thought in depth and written in depth articles, so long about it that he's really good. And for a print guy, he's really good on a web TV show.
I think he's kind of grasped not just that there are differences, but he's kind of begun to understand some of the differences. Understands that he doesn't really get all of it and is trying to explore it still. And his analogies for exploring it are really, really good.
Right.
I think he's better than anybody else I've seen that really to really explain why this is different. His telephone analogy was just awesome tonight. That really grabbed me.
He's thought through these things and can recall them on demand in a pinch, and it's great because the best thing for me is personally is if I have an opportunity to speak to someone who's more experienced or wiser or whatever. I mean, if you want to play tennis, if you could play John McEnroe, or if you want to play golf, if you can play with Tiger Woods, you'll learn something. And guys like him are just really something. It's just a great conversation. You learn, and he's interesting, and it's really great. All right, here's a quick peek at my studio setup.
Cool.
I'm posting this video now. All right, I just posted that. After the show we did, Mike hung out, and I kept everything running so I could do with my camera phone. I could kind of do a shot of all the monitors and the equipment that I used to do this, the actual show. And so I just posted that. And let me post the little show now.
Okay, this is a good one. I'm looking at a post from Mike from about 20 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
He apparently discovered some new buttons showing up underneath his Hangout on Air, which I'm guessing are from a plugin. But no, apparently not. because the second reply to him is from Vic saying, "Shush, we're working on new features."
Huh.
Oh, I'm looking. I see abuse and help. What does he have?
No, this is on the stream.
Yeah, Mike's stream.
On the stream, underneath the playback, apparently there are 4 new buttons coming, which will do it in a bigger screen, open it on a new tab, get an embed code so you can embed it in some other website or something, and get the Hangout stream URL. That or this is something that's, well, basically it's something he discovered. It's not widely available yet, apparently. Very interesting.
Huh.
Nice.
You should be on the share. Yeah, he posted it publicly about 20 minutes ago. But the real interesting part to me was that Vic replied within 2 minutes.
Huh.
Shush. He totally said that. Shush, we were working on new features. Not everyone has Hangouts on air, Mike.
I wonder if opening the Hangout in a new tab, if that would actually allow you to start a separate Hangout, but that wouldn't make much sense either.
No. Well, it's not. From what I can tell, it's not actually opening the Hangout. Well, I'm making wild assumptions. That it's not actually opening the Hangout or on the new tab. It's opening the on-air streaming part on a new tab. Because I assume one of the big criticisms that they've been getting is that people are trying to watch it and then suddenly it starts scrolling down in their stream as new stuff shows up.
Right.
Yeah.
This is funny as I'm reading this because Vic is really cool. He will engage and he's funny and he's smart. Obviously, you know.
Vic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He hasn't engaged either of the photos that I posted about him. I can't imagine why.
He's well, because you keep beating up on him because of the NIM issue.
That was sarcasm, Dan. I know exactly why.
Right. Yeah, he selectively engages. You're just mad because he likes me better than he likes you.
Yes, I am.
Boom.
I want my on air.
Bada bing, bada boom.
What are these buttons, Alan? I mean, I don't.
He explained. I mean, Mike.
I guess one's full screen, obviously the first one, right?
Well, according to Mike, they are from left to right, bigger screen, open Hangout on new tab, get Hangout embed code, and get Hangout stream URL.
Huh.
Yeah, this could be useful.
All 4 of which would be tremendously useful.
So it's only when you're looking. Well, I've got one going right now, right? So let me look at my own profile and see if I have these buttons.
That would be interesting if it's...
I do not.
I just saw the picture of your board. I'm trying to find where my stream is because I just reshared this.
Yeah, I don't have it.
And it seems odd because it would seem to make sense that you, if anybody, should have it. I don't have it either.
I don't see it. I mean, I'm looking at my own profile at the Hangout, at the live Hangout going on now, and I don't see those buttons on there.
Yeah, but it would almost make sense that you don't see it because you're in the Hangout now. You're running the Hangout. You can't open up the stream. It doesn't make sense for you to open up the stream in a separate window or anything, although it does make sense for you to have the embed code.
You know, I see it in the... I see it in the My Canopy on the on-air. It's under public. So...
I mean, I'm still wondering if these buttons are actually...
Somebody else just jumped in. So what buttons are we supposed to be seeing?
Right now we're looking at a post that that Mike Elgin made about 25 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see it.
promise not to let anyone know. Really, Bear.
See, I think everybody who doesn't have it needs to send a feedback request to demand demand an answer as to why we don't have it and he has it.
Oh,
I'm sure he'll get right on.
They give out
Oh.
to people all the time.
Is that when did these buttons appear? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
What buttons are you even talking about?
No. Okay. These are from an extension.
Oh. Okay.
There's an extension called Better On-Air Hangouts. And it's got buttons that look just like this.
Huh.
Oh, so you think Vic was playing with them?
Yes, Vic is playing with them.
Oh, that's funny.
No.
That's funny.
I know what you guys are talking about now.
That or Vic is taking credit. Well, no,
I
sorry,
see.
I've been accused of accusing Google too much, so.
I see him. I see what he's
Michael
doing.
will be pissed.
They need
Michael will be
somebody.
pissed.
Oh, sorry.
If he's playing him, Michael will be pissed.
Yeah, he would be. No,
Mike, I think Vic's teasing Mike.
Vic's teasing Mike.
Yeah, I just pasted the URL for the app.
That's funny.
Ah. So is that a new extension for the Hangouts? If you have them on air.
Yeah, it says on-air Hangout, so.
Yeah, because it only applies for the streaming stuff, so it doesn't really.
Yeah, I don't need it, because I don't have on-air capability.
Well, but it's there for when you're watching somebody else's on-air stream.
Ah, got it.
Where's it streaming to? Is it staying on Google Plus or is it going over to YouTube?
You got me on that one. I'm assuming it's using YouTube streaming.
Back in. Yeah.
But details beyond that, I don't know.
I know there was one point when they were streaming to YouTube, but I don't know if they stopped doing that or what.
I think that might have been just a test because there's a few people that did it, and then to my knowledge, nobody's been able to do it since.
Yeah.
Because I can't even start an on-air hangout myself.
No. Dan can.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm glad that you can.
Yeah. The more people that are allowed to use it now means it'll be I think it'll eventually be allowed for public use, but I think that it could be kind of dangerous, really.
Yeah, they've been kind of keeping an eye on SOPA and stuff too, I would imagine, because that could really kill it.
Yep. I was reading earlier that SOPA and PIPA both got pulled. They're not even up for a vote in the House or the Senate.
They're toast. They're absolutely toast. Technically, they're just not on schedule for. They've been removed from consideration for now temporarily. But with all four Republican candidates and the White House, and just the light shining on it, this was a backroom deal. It's a legitimate issue. Like wholesale piracy, Pirate Bay and stuff like that, and this mega upload thing. And the more you look into it, the more you realize they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, they did.
If you write a book, John, if you write a book, you have the right to choose. You wrote the book. You own it, right? You have a right to choose through what methods it is distributed or whether it's distributed. You have a right to choose what the price is, if there is a price. That you own it. It's your property, just like your house or your car. And so that's a legitimate issue. But, we've got to just work on...
Dan, you're really mudding the waters there.
Whatever. What do you mean?
If you write a book, yes, if you write a book, you have the right to set the price. You have a limited right to set the price on first sale.
I mean, if you could do an ebook. What I'm saying is that all these people are saying like it's Robin Hood and they have enough money and we should just be able to do whatever. Like that's not the argument.
That's not the argument.
We don't want to censor. We don't want to we don't want to deal with it internationally. There are countries that are tolerating this. Put sanctions on them. Make them stop.
Right.
Instead of punishing us. It's not our fault that China lets people do this.
Right.
Yeah, the way it was written, it could be blackmail too, because there was no. If they went after the wrong person, the person they went after has absolutely no retribution ability because they get immunity for taking them down.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they wanted in the DMCA they didn't get. That's the reason why they're bringing up SOPA and PIPA now, because the original drafts of the DMCA I read almost, there's no joke, almost verbatim. If you put the original DMCA draft here and the original SOPA draft here, it's like they just copied it. I mean, of course, the verbiage is just a little different, but as far as what it's aiming to do, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, and they already have a lot of power with what they have now.
They just want more because they got what they wanted. Now they want more, and they're going to keep wanting more and more, and they'll eventually get, the internet's here to stay. Digital distribution's not going anywhere. It's going to take. I mean, all the record execs are going to have to die, but for any change to really happen. But the only problem with that is the people that are going to take the place are going to think exactly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, and I don't mean to say that piracy is wrong, but another thing, Chris Dodd, I think he was either a senator or a congressman from Connecticut. He's he's the chairman of the MPAA now.
Yeah.
I got a big problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
In that, what's the guy's name? Edgar Bronfman Jr., the guy that's running Warner Brothers. His dad ran the Bronfman crime family in New York City till the day he died.
Yeah, and our Justice Department's made up of RIAA members too, like several.
Yep. And it took what I'm really not understanding is, if they wanted, if they didn't want us to circumvent copy protection, then the Library of Congress put out a ruling saying that, you're not violating the DMCA if you're ripping DVDs for your own personal use. I mean, you should have seen the MP and the RI just go absolutely just bonkers. It was kind of funny though. But my thinking behind the main reason for that was because Blu-rays are out and basically mainstream. I mean, it really wasn't that long ago where a first-run movie would cost you $150. Now they're like what, almost the price of a first-run DVD. A little bit more, of course, but not much more. So that probably had something to do with it. There's a game I was reading about. It's kind of like a time-traveling Sims kind of a game. It's the first one I heard was Anno's 1496 or something like that. But it's like you're building a civilization in that time period. And then the way the DRM is set up is that if you only get 3 activations. You change any hardware, you put more RAM in, take RAM out, swap anything, that's another activation. Mm-hmm. So you take out your I do a lot of video card swapping, and I mean a lot. And so by the time, if I buy this game, by the time a week's gone by, I could have swapped out my video card maybe 6 or 7 times, which means, and that game's not cheap, it's $65. So we've only been able to play it for a week after paying almost $70 for it. But no, it's the article I was reading at Guru3D.com. The developer of the game, which I don't remember the name off the top of my head, said they changed it to where it ignores changes in graphics hardware. But still, I mean, I know a lot of guys, they'll like tear down their system and build something new, and then every couple of months. So, and it's just the only reason I'm mentioning this is I just don't like DRM at all.
Yeah. If the software industry, back in the 90s, I worked for a company that had some high-dollar software that we were that we were using from another company, and they had theirs protected with a hardware dongle that you actually plugged into the serial port.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like it'd be a little bit harder to hack a piece of hardware.
All you got to do with it being over
surprised.
it's not. It's, if you know how and got the right hardware, it's really trivial because there's nothing protecting signals going through a serial port.
There's nothing. I mean, that's been one of the big issues with the newer Windows compatible machines is that in order to run later versions of Windows, you need to have security in the BIOS replacement, and basically they're trying to lock down more and more of the machine, because unless you lock down more and more of the machine, you've got this backdoor into the copy protection methods they're trying to put there. And the downside is the more you lock down the machine, the more you're locking the machine into a particular operating system.
Yeah, like with Windows 8 Secure Boot, they're going to on desktops. Everybody was screaming about it. Well, we're not going to be able to install Linux. So what they're doing now is, I don't know if anybody's aware of this, but there's going to be Windows 8 running on ARM tablets, and on a Windows 8 tablet with an ARM CPU, you're not going to be able to secure boot. It's implemented in hardware will prevent you from installing another operating system.
Good night, guys.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Thanks, Dan.
Have a good one. See you. Take care.
Going as well. Dan, a
Yeah, I
pleasure
do
as always.
too. All right, buddy. Yeah, I got to roll out.
And I'm going to have to watch the rest of this video later to see how the rest of the show turned out.
I was in the middle of my point too. Oh well, crap happens.
Sorry.
I know. I didn't realize what time it was until everybody said, "Hey, I got to go." I'm like, crap, it's midnight.